Hello my lovelies, and I'm still not feeling super great, but I want to get these two books reviewed before I have read too many books in between them, because I've already read two at this point and I'm just like, oh my god, I'm starting to forget things. I have notes though, but even so, gotta review them now. Stolen Songbird by Danielle Jensen. And oh my goodness. This is a reread that I did of the book to do a review on it because I now have a second book, which is Hidden Huntress, and I realized that I haven't done a review of this because I haven't done a review of most books that I own. And I was like, you know what, I should review this series because I want to see it to the end. I love this series, which should give you enough clue as to why I'm reviewing it and why I'm talking about it. So, in this book, the reason I picked it up is because it follows trolls. Yes, you heard me right, trolls. Look, fantasy. Most things are like, you know, right into vampires or werewolves, with the vampires and werewolves guys, for at least a little bit. Need some differentiation here, and this book is it. So I'm not gonna give like a major spoiler for this book until later. But it follows trolls, and they're in the city of Trollus, which has been put underneath a mountain by an evil witch. The premise of this book is that the girl on her cover has flaming red hair and bright blue eyes, just like this evil witch, and she's been captured to fulfill a prophecy and free the trolls from underneath the mountain so they can again reclaim the human world as their own, because they were the ruling class. Her name is Cecile, and so she ends up bonded, which is same as married basically, to Tristan. The interesting thing about bonding that I really liked in this book is that it connects your emotional feelings, like not thoughts, but like your feelings. So you have like the other person's feelings in like the back of your head. I think it's a really interesting way to go about like marriage and relationships and stuff, but I just really enjoy it. The book starts really slow. I don't think it's like till the second or third chapter that I really got into it. But if you wait till the third chapter when her kidnapping occurs, and after she starts meeting the trolls, I read this in like 3 hours when I did the reread. Like I knew what was gonna happen still, but it's not super small writing, and it's a trade market paperback, so it's shorter, a decent sized book. It has reviews from Rachel Hartman and Kristen Cashore, who wrote Graceling and Seraphina respectively, and I like both of those books, so I think this is a really good read and definitely something you should pick up. And now we're going to get into a little more of the spoilery section where I talk about like specific quotes from the books because I have pages folded over. Yes, I fold my book pages. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Snape kills Dumbledore. So the first thing that I have is when Cecile first meets Tristan. You get a great idea of how the relationship is going to be on this page, and this is just like, oh, I freaking love this. That Tristan says to Cecile is really like, they're really cutting and rude to each other because neither of them really wants this marriage to occur, neither of them really wants to fall in love with the other, and Cecile's just been kidnapped, so she's like, I hate everything, and Tristan has ulterior motives, and she will be revealed in this review, hopefully a little bit. He's got some scathing remarks, and the scathing remark that really stood out to me on this page was when he says, I'm a firm believer in low expectations myself. Makes for less disappointment in life. For instance, I expected you to arrive fully clothed, but here you are on little more than a scrap of fabric that might once have been a shift. And it's just like, ooh. The page, Tristan has this line that says, are you going to tell us the details of how you lost your dress, basically? And Cecile's just like, perhaps not. And he responds with, more's the pity. It would have been the first interesting thing you've said. Tristan is sassy. I freaking love Tristan. Oh my goodness, and he gets better and better as the books go on. Really good. He's a really well-written character. I kind of like lose Cecile a little bit in the second book, and sometimes further in this book, but I never lose Tristan. Tristan is hella fine. This is the first clue on page 138, which is a while away, but I really like all the pages that I really thought were interesting and moved the story along and stuff like that. So, no, until then, they're like, Cecile meets with other trolls, she becomes friends with some of them, she becomes a little bit closer to Tristan in some ways. And so this is the page where basically Tristan, we realize he has reasons for not wanting to get close to Cecile and reasons for really hating this arrangement other than her just being a human. There's this glass garden in the book, and Cecile always goes there to sing because she's classically trained in opera, and Tristan followed her there. And so this is his response to it, it switches from female to male within this book. And so Tristan talks about, he says, "What had I been thinking? If anyone knew I had followed her into the gardens like a lovesick puppy and then lit them up in a moronic attempt to impress her, it would undermine the purpose of my performance in the market today." So basically he put on such a performance about how much he hates her and everything. That's where you get the clue that there's a reason why he doesn't want this whole, the trolls to be freed from the mountain. He doesn't want this marriage to work out. He doesn't want things to succeed for his father and for all the trolls and trollists. And this is like the first clue in this chapter. She has so many subplots running at the same time in this book. It's intriguing. It's really like it's just so good. All right. Oh, okay. This is where we get how sassy Cecile is. So the evil guy in this book, his name is Angoulême. The names, we've been over this. And so basically he is trying to get where Tristan is taking off to and wants to know stuff about Tristan and wants to know about this possible revolutions occurring. I think Cecile's the way to that. We might not be wrong. And so this is Tristan talking to Cecile right after, and Cecile has saved his butt by taking papers that had like very open information. He left them on a table in a secret room where Angoulême found the room. Cecile was in the room though, so she's like, papers, stuck them in her dress. The first time they have a moment in the book, and I really think it's like, I don't know, Tristan's really angry and is just like mad about everything, but we realize that he's not like his dad, even though he acts like it. His dad's like a horrible human hating person, or troll I guess. You hate the way your father is, how he treats the half-bloods. I heard it in your voice yesterday, but more than that, I felt it. It's just a lot of yes. This is a lot of yes. There's this fake fight that Cecile and Tristan stage after he tells her about how the trolls is escaping would mean they take over all humanity and enslave them and all this horrible stuff again. So Cecile's like, okay, I'm on board. We're gonna pretend to hate each other. It's gonna be a good plan. It's gonna work. So this is their first fake fight. And Cecile decided she wants to learn all about trolls because she knows she's gonna be stuck here for a while. She learns about all of these wonderful magical things, and she takes up painting. And so Tristan comes in to paint the lesson and he's like, "That's god-awful ugly. What are you painting?" And she said, "A representation of feelings through color." "Oh, and what feelings, pray tell, does this represent?" And she just looks him dead in the eye and says, "My feelings for you, dear husband." Like, if that is not a... Yes. Between that and this page, which is on 283, so we're like way past the last page, which I don't think I page number, but that's fine. And basically, they even found out that they don't actually hate each other all that much. Okay, so she knocks Tristan. This is where they're discovered, basically. Actually, this is the scene where they're discovered. And so she thinks that trolls turn to stone in sun, and she sees sun coming through this hole, and she's like, "No, Tristan!" And he's like, "What the hell was that for?" And she goes, "Don't you turn to stone?" She says, "No, what other stupid rumors have you heard?" And she says, "Well, trolls are supposed to have an enormous fund for gold, right?" He's like, "Well, that is true. I notice in myself the tendency to hoard pocket lint and scraps of paper," and I love that line. It's just, it makes him so much more human to her, like when you're reading her view, and to us as the reader. Like, I just think some of the stuff that Danielle writes in here is just on fleek. The thing I have is her great escape from trolls, so she tries to get out, basically, and it doesn't really work very well. She gets like decently far, and then like the sloughs, which are giant slug things that eat people with venom, gets her. Good times, good times. And so Tristan rescues her. She saves Tristan's life because it's like snake venom, and no one tried that removing like snake venom in 500 years. They're stupid. I don't know. You get really this scene was kind of like hit and miss for me, because we know that Tristan really doesn't have feelings for this other girl that she's been tricked into being jealous of, and it's just I don't like how they play up with Tristan's relationship with Aeneas, which is his like best friend. It's just, it's too much for me, and I don't know, just not really my thing. Cecilia attempts to escape and everything till the end, and then eventually leads to her escape. But there's a lot of danger, a lot of intrigue, a lot of fun stuff in between this point, and I think the cover is just gorgeous. I love this cover, oh my goodness. It's like her rose on there, her little glass rose is so pretty. Oh my god, I love this. I love this cover. And it holds like really big importance to the book. Cover's a really good cover choice, and this is how you put people on covers. Let me imagine her face, thank you very much, and just put half of her face in. That's what I want. Honestly, I probably give this book, I rate things out of 10 because I hate the 5-point scale, but it's not accurate enough. So out of 10, I'd probably give it an 8, just because I feel like it's a really good read and you should definitely pick it up. But knowing where the series heads, because I've read the next book, I don't know if I want to get too emotionally invested in it. It's a really good book though. It's a really good book. I love Danielle's writing style. I think it's amazing. I definitely think this is a book that you should pick up. If you're interested in trolls and if you're interested in attempting this series with me, I'm gonna pick up the 3rd book in the series anyway, just because this book was so good. If you want to pick it up, I will put a link for the Canadian store and an American store in the description for Barnes & Nobles and Kohl's. As always, I'm Fallon. I make videos every weekend and sometimes during the week now. Wow, this is weird, man. I got a lot of videos. And if you haven't clicked that subscribe button, you click it down below. You also catch links to a lot of my social media stuff in the doobly-doo. And I will hopefully see you next time. And yeah, so thank you for hanging out with me, my lovelies.